The winter season of 1951 and 1952 brought us one of the most memorable storms Lake Tahoe has ever seen.
It started off real hard, real early. We got a couple of feet of snow even before Halloween.
Once the snow started, it seemed to never stop.
By the end of December, we usually have about 38 inches of snow, and they had 11 feet.
While roadways were closed, the only railway traffic allowed was the infamous train, the city of San Francisco, but even it had troubles.
It runs into a slide, an avalanche that had come across the tracks about 20 miles west of Donner Pass. It's up by a place called Yuba Gap, and the train got trapped. There was 226 passengers and crew on board. They were all promised, don't worry, we're only here for a short period of time. Ultimately, they spend over 3 days there because the winds were gusting up to 100 miles an hour. There were drifts everywhere, the train slowly getting buried. On the morning of the 4th day, the storm breaks. They are able to get everybody out, and absolutely everybody is saved. All 226 people make it.
The rest of January, February, and March continued with more storms.
When all is said and done, we get about 776 inches of snow in the Donner Summit area. The drifts in downtown Tahoe City reached about 20 feet deep. And when people are coming up to check on their homes in March, they're walking on top of snow that's over 15 feet deep, and so they're entering their houses through the second-story windows.
So how was the skiing that year?
The snowpack was awesome, of course. So people were coming up whenever they could get through the road, but through the first part of January up until about the early part of February, there was no driving over Donner Summit. The only way up is going to be through South Lake Tahoe, and at that point, there wasn't a lot of skiing going on. Most people were in survival mode at this point. Even though when you see it as a skier or a snowboarder mentality, you're like, oh, I couldn't wait to get into that stuff. There was a lot more serious things going on that kind of sidetracked that impetus, but I'm sure if you could find some old timers, they'll tell you it was the best skiing I've ever had in my life. So it really does go down as one of our all-time epic winters. Started early, went long, lots of snow, lots of different rescues and different challenges that happened. And even as today, like I said, over 50, 55 years ago, we still consider it really one of the all-time iconic winters for us here at Lake Tahoe.
Tahoe, now you know. For RSN, I'm Megan Shuffleton.